Hello. We're back with Women Are from Venus review feedback. It's been a while, partly because life got busy. Life got very busy. I haven't really had time to just sit down and pump out an hour-long recording. Trust me, my channel is feeling that. But we are back, and I'll be doing normal things. The only difference now is we have the live split in the corner, which there it goes. I don't remember how to turn on. Only because, one, I kind of want a record of how long I'm actually taking. But also because I don't want to go over 2 hours at most. Because I do want to eat dinner at some point. And I just got home from the chiropractor, so I'm actually tired. But hopefully that won't affect my ability to read. I say, it's me, I have dyslexia, everything impacts my ability to read. But not too much. Anyway, with all that said, I'll just get back. Oh, also background music is just, Minecraft music. I assume there might be more music things that pop up. As you can see, just, or maybe not, you can't see. I forgot I cut it off. I just put background music in the search bar and got this. It's from Drift Away Ambience, as you can see. But yeah, we'll do that. And if there's any, obviously I'll switch out. I just need something in the background. Is it appropriate for a story? Probably not. But here we go. Because this is where we ended last. We cut to one of the old abandoned canals in the middle of Empire City. A drunken homeless man is laying on the snow-covered bench just along the waterway. Something whooshes down from the sky, splashing into the water through the thin cap of ice that has formed in it. The homeless man stands up, startled awake by the noise. He gets closer to the water, hearing something bubbling on the surface. He peers down over the edge. There's a dark shape in the water, hidden under the ice. In the smoking hole it left when it landed, two bright green eyes pierce through the water. We get a far-off view of the city. The man screams, go unnoticed. Night turns into morning. Lacey groggily wakes up, groaning. She glances around, then at the book she was still just lying next to. The panels are blurry, reflecting how her glasses are off. She reaches around in bed, finding them and putting them on. Oh, I accidentally hit the wrong button. I come home late. It's been a stressful week. Just another weird... She looks down to see the orange tattoo still, faintly, but still, on her arms and legs. Ah! In shock and panic, Lacey tries to rub off the tattoos furiously with her palms. The words, no, 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 visible behind her. Semi-translucent. Of course, the rubbing does not work. She awkwardly stands up, straightening herself out. Shit. She glances at the book, then reaches for it, hesitant, scared. She picks it up, puts it under her arm, starts to walk, as we see a close-up of her now tattooed arm. The next panel cuts to her all dressed up at the library, the tattoos concealed under long fingerless gloves, the lines still faintly visible underneath. She hurriedly rushes back to her cubicle, looking around with worry as she hugs the book close to her. As she sits down, Judith appears, as if she was waiting for the second Lacey showed up. What took you so long, Tanner? That's 2 days in a row you're late. 2. Sorry, Miss Lou. Sorry doesn't make files suddenly get filed properly. Anyway, I see Nayar got you the book. Has it been filed yet? Nayar? Nayar. Where did you get this? Lacey holds up the book suddenly. Judith looks taken aback. Oh, okay. Sorry, I need to reread that. Where did you get this? Lacey holds up the book suddenly. Judith looks taken aback, almost surprised Lacey actually spoke back so clearly and directly. It was a donation. Private collector. It was anonymous. Do, do you have any idea who it could have been? Or who wrote this? Have you seen the inside? Any, anything strange? Strange. The only strange thing here is that you think it's time to go down a research rabbit hole on a single book, Tanner. That's your job. I don't know or frankly care what you do after hours. But if you went out last night and took something that made you see pink elephants, you better sober up fast if you want to keep your job. Caprice? Lacey hesitates. Yes, Miss. Judith suddenly turns away. Madison! Where the hell is my coffee? I need it on my desk before my 10 a.m. Naveen passes by, carrying a stack of books in his arms. He does his best to give Lacey a thumbs up despite her heavy load. Lacey smiles and turns back to her desk, opening her computer to her files. I feel powerless, so I do what I always do when I feel powerless. I bury myself in work. A very short 3 to 4 panel montage of her working at her computer as time passes, glancing at the book. She has her little ballpoint pen in her hands, and we can see that she is nervously twisting it open and shut. But I can't escape that itch. It's not good enough to know I don't want to remember. I have to know why. Lacey sets her pen down on her desk. We get a shot from behind her, staring across her desk at the book. Then a pan of a thin metal hand reaching for the handle of a fire alarm. Lacey turns to the book, reaching for it. The fire alarm goes off. Lacey is startled, turning around, away from the book. She pauses, seeming to notice something off. Panel. We see the other librarians are already up, walking in a calm and orderly fashion towards the emergency exits. Judith bursts out of her office and starts calling the shots. All right, people, keep it moving, keep it moving. If you have any rare books at your desk, take them with you. Naveen stops right outside Lacey's cubicle. Hey, you okay? Probably just a drill, but we should get going. Right, I'll be right there. Are you sure? I could... Nair! Tanner! Get your asses over here now! Naveen turns back to Lacey. She manages a slight smile. Go. I'll catch up. Naveen nods and runs to join everyone else. Lacey turns back around, staring at something just past the opening of the cubicle, something underneath the desk behind her. It moves out of light. It's one of the camera drones from the opening, hovering in the shadows. We get a POV shot from the drone from its lens watching Lacey. There are 2 V's in the logo in the bottom of the screen. Lacey seems scared, but unsure where the fear is coming from, but there is recognition dancing in her eyes. You. The wall of the office blasts open. Cubicles, desk parts, office chairs, and glass from the windows flies out. Lacey and the drone are seemingly both pushed back by the shockwave, ending up underneath Lacey's desk. A creature steps through the hole in the wall. It has a grotesquely long neck with a head that looks like a horse skull. With wolf-like teeth, its body is covered in long, shaggy hair, a putrid, dark teal color. It has lots of hair, especially around its neck and forehead, like a lion's mane. It walks low to the ground with big, pterosaur? Isn't the P silent? Pterosaur? Like wings? God, I'm a dinosaur fan. I don't even remember. I'm sorry. You may revoke my card. Look, my defense, I stick to, like, the ground animals. You know, I stick to the Brachiosaurus and fucking... I also can't see their names for the life of me, so... But anyway. It has a long, thin tail with a big fin at the end. It roars loudly. Oh, my voice. Hold on, let me get a drink. Not that one. That one's empty. Now my voice is done being weird. It roars loudly. Lacey looks up, instinctively grabs the book, clutching it to her chest as she sits pressed against the inside of the desk. There's a panel of the drone, Lacey staring. There's a panel of the drone and Lacey staring at each other. Then the drone beeps out an alarm. The creature's head perks up, turning in Lacey's direction. Lacey smacks the drone with the book, sending it hurtling across the office in an arc, landing in the far corner. Lacey reaches out of the cubicle, hunched down, as the monster roars and charges in the direction of the drone. It flails around. It wrecks the office, sending desks. Oh, hold on. I need to check. Okay. I was like, wait a minute. I'm a little dumb. Lacey rushes out of the cubicle, hunched down, as the monster roars and charges in the direction of the drone. As it flails around, it wrecks the office, sending desks flying out of the gaping hole in the wall it left. Just as Lacey makes it to the exit, a full desk and filing cabinet lands in her path. The monster roars. We see it spotting Lacey, and more specifically, the book. She runs in the other direction, towards the hole in the wall, looping around another smashed cubicle, set as the monster curls around it like a dragon, protecting its hoard. All the while, I feel like that's supposed to be all the while, yeah. All the while, we get insert panels within the panels showing that Lacey grabbed her ballpoint pen and is clicking the top over and over again anxiously while clutching the book to her chest with her other arm. Right as she makes it through the wall, the creature's tail swats Lacey away. She tumbles through the air, crashing into one of the cubicles now amid the ice and snow outside, the book landing just beside her. The impact looks rough, and Lacey looks really hurt. She coughs, slumped against the side of the cubicle, sheltered by it, for now, from the monster. Off panel, people scream and the monster roars. Lacey weakly stares at the book next to her. She hesitates, then reaches for it, setting it on her lap. As she gently, cautiously flips it open again, it is still made very explicit that she is clicking her pen. No. Why isn't it working now? I need to remember. I want to remember. Please. Please let me remember. Lacey stops on a picture of Ares. In the image, Ares stands surrounded by monsters and He-Man villain-looking guys, holding her sword above her head. Think of the classic Doom cover. Why can't I feel it now? Please. What am I missing? Another roar from off panel. Lacey looks away from the book, pausing. The next panel pans over, revealing a sign on the desk of the cubicle. The pen is mightier than the sword. It's Lacey's cubicle. She stares at the cheap dollar store decoration for a moment, and then looks down at the pen in her hand with the keychain on the end. We get a close-up on her face. Her eyes grow wider with recognition. Recognition? She pushes herself to her feet, shaky from her injury, trying not to slip on the ice beneath her feet. She flips the pen around in her hand, the tip facing up. She takes a deep breath. Please. She holds the pen up, clutching it tightly as her arms go up past her head. I shift into the pose in the book. It feels right. Instantly, muscle memory finally obeyed after being smothered, but the ashes remained hot all along. She looks triumphant, even bruised, slightly bloodier, pale skin flushed from the cold outside. Then she doubles over in pain. Again, it hurts, tremendously so, but only for a moment. But then, I remember. Close-up of shot of Lacey's eyes opening wide. Flashback! Ares and... Oh god, how did I say her name? Olara stand in a desolate room on Venus, like some sort of pre-fight private chamber for competitors. They both wear some sort of collar around their necks. Ares is sharpening the blade of the beast cleaver, holding it with the flat side resting on her lap. And when he begins to gloat, you can knock the book out of his hand. If he loses it, he'll lose... And when he begins to gloat, you can knock the book out of his hands. If he loses it, he loses part of the edge he has on us. But we will lose you, too. I will survive. I guess Ares pauses. I will survive, as I always have. You and the sisters must keep resisting, as I know you will. We do, yes, but mostly because of you, Ares. You are a queen. Your strength gives us strength. You speak as though we are not all... Sorry, the power for me just went out. That was startling. I need a... Yeah, as you can see, the, yeah, Google Doc's gonna do that for a sec. Because the internet's gotta come back. That was a little startling, to say the least. Well, I guess I could talk about so far I'm loving it. So far. I'm so sorry. I guess I should have mentioned... I didn't think to mention it because I didn't think it'd actually, like, affect anything since it's being recorded. But usually when I'm live streaming, I won't live stream if it's storming. So it's currently storming right now. But I was like, oh, I'm recording. This won't affect anything. Yeah, so... Yeah, I gotta wait for my, my internet to come back. To try and get... There's my phone. I could potentially read more of it on my phone. It just means that, like... My internet completely is gone. Okay. There it is. Come on. If it didn't come back, I was gonna read. Okay, there it goes. We're back. We're back. We're alright. We're good. Oh, there goes the music. Oh. Oh no, it just blinked again. Oh, it keeps blinking. Are we still good? Oh, it's like blinking. Oh, that's not good. Alright. So, here's the thing. If I run into a music, I can't, like, play it, but I can start reading it off my phone. A little bit. So sorry. I didn't think my internet would be like this. I'm gonna be honest. Thank you. Okay, where is there it is? So while that's redoing, So sorry again. Did not think my internet would just kaput. Okay, wait. Internet might be back. I'm actually going to keep pulling it up. Where are we? We're at 38. Oh, I forgot that doesn't actually. There it is. We will lose you too, Aries. Pause. Okay. 20 minutes in. Man. I was really hoping for an hour or two. Okay, we might be good now. I have it up on my phone, so if the internet goes out again, I can officially read it there. As you can see, my laptop is not happy that the internet went down. Please play? No? Okay. Well, we did this in silence now. I will survive. Oh, there it goes. I always have. You and the sisters must keep resisting, as I know you will. We do, yes, but mostly because of you, Aries. You are a queen. Your strength gives us strength. You speak as though we are not Venusans, strongest in the Milky Way, and lest us not forget, I am merely a princess who has taken the throne out of turn, mother. You will reclaim your title on a day soon to come. Aries, they see me as a failure, as they are right to. I let blah, 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 blah. I'm gonna take a swig of my drink and try to refocus after the internet being that way. Technical issues are my life, apparently. Alright. Aries, they see me as a failure, as they are right to. I let our last stronghold fall, and with it our people into slavery. You are queen, not just because it is your right, but because even among us, your strength is unparalleled. None in the sisterhood have ever wielded the internal magics like you, and you command presence in ways I never could, even at your age. Do you ever see the crowds when you fight? I don't think that crowd is a good. I don't think that crowd is good as in. Indicator of my importance. I only barely tolerate it as a source of power. Orla frowns as. Ah! My throat. Work, buddy. Okay. As Aries keeps polishing Beast Cleaver, she realizes she won't change Aries' mind about this. You're so confident that this will work. Do you truly understand what he wishes to do? Banish you away to a weak world like Tiara. Tiara? Tiara? I know how to say this word, I swear. I just don't know right now. Curse you with a spell of surplus repression. Surplus repression. What will you do with... I'm butchering this. I'm so sorry. What if you do not return? What if... Mother. Aries stands, setting Beast Cleaver aside and holding her mother's hand. Aries is noticeably taller than Orla. The next panel is Orla's POV of Aries' face as the barbarian queen gives her mother a calm, reassured, gentle smile. Everything is going to be okay. We cut back to Lacey in the snow, hunched over in pain like she was the previous night. although this time she seems slightly calmer about it. She begins to transform, growing in size and musculature. However, the transformation itself is something like a cross between a Hulk transformation and a magical girl transformation. As Lacey tears certain articles of clothing, they take on a flashy magical glow, the color of red hot magma, like the tattoos. We get a close up panel of the transformation. Aries' voiceover carries on, in copper orange text tones, the same color as Lacey's hair. I'm used to Kobrak's chains. I barely remember a time when we were free, and I know what he will do to me. Strip me of my power, my memory, my will. But, like the physical chains that once held me back, I will take them and make them my own, a weapon against him. The pen grows orange, shifting and growing into the heavy, superhumanly massive sword hilt. The keychain on the end grows and lengths and as well, coiling down Lacey's left arm. I trust the woman who will remain after all else is suppressed, because she is still me, one and the same. We aren't two sides of the same coin. We share a side, strong as copper, strong enough to be kind. The back of Lacey's dress tears as her shoulder blades pop out, the dress turning molten red and beginning to shift across her skin. If you ever seen the end of Love Lies Bleeding, picture that. It's a little grotesque. I know her as I know myself, and I know that when the time comes where she will have to plant her feet in the ground and stand strong, Lacey's toes and heels burst out of her shoes as the shoes that shocks turn red, remnants changing shape into armored sandals. They cut back to a memory of Aries and her mother. Without your confidence, you have no strength. He will take it, and that will strip you of who you are. Will you ever remember if you don't let yourself? Aries snorts a chuckle. Kobrak will take my confidence, but not who I am, Mother. And that is his mistake, because my magics and strength are not me. I and the woman I will become, we will feel that something is wrong. Back to the present, Lacey's biceps bulge, the tattoos growing bright. No matter if she is afraid, no matter if she pushes it away, she will eventually give in to that feeling. Finally, we now see it's not Lacey, but Aries, standing in a powerful, defiant, this is the panel everyone remembers when they think about Aries, pose. Lacey's outfit gone, replaced with Aries' armor from the opening. She is framed underneath the entrance of the library. Locus Verticus Occulte, framed very obviously above her head. But the narration box shifts colors halfway through, from copper bronze to a weathered copper green, and we will demand the truth. Aries lowers her sword, holding it lovingly in her arms. She whispers to herself with a smile, the text tiny within the word bubble to indicate this. It's good to be back. From the outside the panel, there's a screech. Aries turns around to face the creature, now standing at the other end of the front of the library. Two drones, like the ones Lacey saw in the library office, float towards the sides, watching Aries. What a displeasure to see your ugly hide again after so long, foul creature. The creature howls at her, and we're finally introduced to Signred, the unrelenting, ferocious beast, pet of Kobrak. Aries takes the full tome, wrapping it close to her hip, with parts of leather and metal on her armor, and raises beast cleaver, bashing the flat part of the blade against the vambrace on her right arm, like a true gladiator. Come on, then! Senrag charges at Aries as he pounces on her. She catches the beast under its chin, blocking its clawing front limbs with her blade. The way she's posed here should invoke Renaissance paintings of Hercules fighting monsters. A handful of people. It's a snow day. There weren't that many people on the street regardless. Watched from afar, shouting, some running away. We close in on visceral combat. Sinred snarling at Aries. Aries snarls back. She shoves him, giving herself enough time to throw Beast Cleaver aside and hug Sinred's neck tightly. She picks him up, jumps, and does a spinning pile driver on him, drilling the creature's head straight through the pavement. It, wri- it writhes, smacking Ares away with its tail, sending her flying across the street, Beast Cleaver trailing behind her on its chin. After she lands, Ares quickly recovers, getting on one knee. But her concentration is broken momentarily. She looks over her shoulder at the people watching her on the sidewalk. She smiles at them and gives them a wave. Some of the people, hesitantly, return the wave. Ares grows just a bit larger. Cut to a darkened chamber. It looks like a fusion between the Dark Souls castle and the interior of Nostradam. Meh. Nostrum. I can't say it, I'm sorry. From Alien. Nostrum? Nostromo. I need to stop. Dark fantasy architect covered in wires leading into large servers with green lights. A spiky throne faces a wall of crystal balls, each set into little square slots with cables coming out of them. Oh, Terciano of the day. It gives the impression of a huge wall of security cameras, but with orbs instead of screens. A factory-style robotic arm attached to the ceiling on the rail reaches out for a ball, taking it and lowering it into a pedestal in front of the throne. Kobrak leans forward, resting the chin of his glowing glass helmet on his fist, his skull floating within. If he had eyes, they'd be locked on the orb with great interest. The orb shows Sinred tearing its head from the ground, blah, blah, screeching with rage, and an insert panel makes it clear that the orbs are displaying feeds from the drones. I expected her to be rustier. I suppose you can take the girl out of the reality TV show, but you can't take the reality TV show out of the girl. He's supposed to... I don't know how to do Skeletor. Okay, someone do this. That's the best I can do. I'm sorry. We'll get Bonnie to voice him at some point. Kobrak glances over at a hologram to his right, showing competing lines of different colors going up and down, but currently pointing down. The chart is labeled ratings. Kobrak's skull contorts into a skeletal grimace. Curses. Any lower and I'll start losing sponsors. What to do? What to do? With a swipe of his hand, the drone turns around, spotting a woman and a little girl, watching the fight in terror as Ares charges at Sinred with Beast Cleaver, blocking both in another clash. Second one. Kobrak, blah, 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 looms over the orb, his skull contorting into even more of a grin. Well, if there's one thing the masses adore, it's collateral and peril. Kobrak waves a hand, pointing at the mom and daughter. Back to the fight. Ares tries to use Beast Cleaver, but Sinred is too close, lunging at her with his claws. There's no space for her to swing, only grapple, and try and place her chains around his neck. It's hard, though. Ares is 8 feet tall, growing a few feet from the people around her, growing... cheering to support her if it works better. Oh, no, undo that one. Well, whatever. No. I'm a little bit of it. Okay. No. Redo. But Sinred is still much larger. It's like a 12-year-old trying to wrestle a tiger. Suddenly, Sinred's head perks up, and he does a crocodile death roll in midair. Ares goes flying, slamming into the side of the library, taking a chunk of marble out of it that crashes onto her head and shoulders the moment she hits the ground. Sinred's eyes snap towards the mom and her kid. The creature's tail whips around, impaling a nearby parked yellow taxi cab, swinging it towards the helpless civilians. cut to Kobrak's lair again. The hologram is suddenly supercharged, with all the lines abruptly shooting up. Wires connected to the hologram projector glow the same colors as the lines, running across the floor into the throne itself. Then the tubes on Kobrak's chest plate grow rainbow hues, and the clockwork orange-esque eye socket wires in his skull do as well. He reels back, shaking his head like a guy who just snorted a line of coke. Fox, yes! Woo! God, I love being a network executive. I'm sorry I can't do that voice, man. We jump back to the street as the mom embraces her child before smash. The mother and daughter open their eyes. Aries stands in front of them, her arms in front of her in a boxer's blocking stance, with a taxi held in front of it. The taxi falls to the ground, and Aries lowers her arms. She towers over the pair, a good 12 to 13 feet tall. She looks at the girl specifically, who looks especially scared. We notice now it's the exact same girl and woman who Lacey helped in the library during the montage. Aries smiles softly at her. Aries turns around, lowering onto one knee to be closer to the girl despite her own considerable size. Are you alright, little one? The little girl nods as her mother pulls her away, mouthing a thank you. The other people around on the street begin to clap and cheer for Aries. She smiles at the crowd, visibly growing larger and stronger as she stands up and turns. Her expression darkens, maybe genuine anger contrasting from the gentleness of just moments before, glaring towards the camera drone. Kobrak! How dare you! Ye... blah blah blah. You, he who ruins all he touches. It's me you want, not these defensive Tarians. Tarians. She grabs Beast Cleaver, swinging it by its chain like a lasso, scraping the pavement with the blade. You come to this world to destroy it, as you did mine. I say thee nay! As Sinred rears for another attack, Aries throws Beast Cleaver, interrupting Sinred mid-air and impaling the creature. Aries simultaneously yanks the chain towards herself and kicks away from the ground, rocketing towards the creature. When they make contact, Aries punches Sinred in the jaw, which pulls Beast Cleaver out of his chest, then swings around, holding the chain around the monster's neck as they fall. They tumble, struggling in the air. At the last moment, Sinred gains the upper hand, holding Aries below him. Pushing back with his wings to increase the impact, Aries smashes into the street, creating a crater with her size. Sinred claws at her face, and at the book of Vargatos attached to Aries' hip, but hugging Beast Cleaver close to herself, she uses it mostly protect herself. It wants the book. My death and any others are just convenient bonuses for its master. Entertainment for the masses. Curated cruelty for a dozen HyperNet clip compilations. It sickens me. And that, in turn, only strengthens me. Close up on Aries as she grits her teeth, slipping her hands to Beast Cleaver's hilt, her tattoos growing bright magma orange, which creeps up the middle chain on her wrist and into the sword. Boiling blade! A wave of orange magic blasts from the blade, launching Sinred back with a sizzling scar across her chest. The creature flips around, catching itself on its front limbs, snarling while Aries is in the midst of recovering from the volley before. Sinred is right back on her, dashing across the street and tackling her. The two tumble around in a roll, Aries grimacing as they flatten a parked car and knock over a couple streetlights. She kicks Sinred off herself, but before she can push the attack, Sinred swings around, slamming her in the chest with its tail. Ares goes flying across the block, smashing through a bridge made of concrete and steel beams before cratering into the asphalt. Sinred dashes forward, not giving Ares time to breathe, but this time she spins herself back onto her feet, catching Sinred at full force, picking him up underneath her armpits and carrying forward Sinred's momentum. Takes him in a spinning pile driver straight into the street. The creature's head ends up buried deep into the asphalt. Ares rolls off the creature, hearing applause and cheers from the onlookers. She proudly stands tall as Sinred writhes in the ground, trying to free himself. On my homeworld, hearing the cheers of the crowd only angered me more at the whole charade. Here, I enjoy it. It's earnest. It means something. Ares' thoughts are interrupted. Quite literally, her thought bubble is interrupted by an onomatopoeia, by a rumbling. Her eyes widen, and she turns towards the bridge she broke when Sinred throws through her. Like the lead snows of Venus. The sound sends a terror down my veins. I recognize it instantly. How could I not? I hear it every night outside my apartment. Hear it every morning as I ride it to work. It's the pulse of the city. The sound any true Empyrean knows better than their own mother's voice. Ares looks in the direction of the noise, with the broken bridge still in view. The sleek Empire City Metro runs across the raised tracks, through the buildings, barreling towards the ruined bridge. The sound of the Blue Line express train through Midtown. Ares runs to the bridge, slinging Beast Clover onto her back and dropping to one knee to grasp at the pieces, shifting through them like a child would a pile of dumped Lego bricks. If the pieces were larger, I could fuse them with magic, but it would be in vain. I didn't break the bridge, I pulverized it. All that remains are pebbles and fragments, and even if there was more... Another shot of the rapidly approaching train. The operator in the front is trying to pull the brakes, but there's no chance of the train there's no chance the train slows in time. I don't have time. Cut to Ares. She looks back. Barely. She's grown so tall that the ends of the broken bridge are at shoulder height for her standing up, and at the broken bridge. Next panel is a determined look on her face. No. I do have time. Time for a really stupid idea. Ares swings Beast Cleaver out, grabbing the handle with two hands and piercing the blade sideways at one of the ends of the bridge with the flat end facing up. She moves underneath it, bracing the bottom edge of the blade with one of her hands on her broad shoulders and tightly holding the handle with her other hand, pulling it as close to the other side of the bridge as she can. She closes her eyes, bracing for what's to come. Sisters of Venus, brave of hearts, unbreakable of souls, will the living magic, pulse of the realms, origin of all life, hear my prayer, for I call upon you both for your timeless spirits. Please give me the strength to protect these people. The train speeds past. Sparks fly as the wheels on the train abruptly slip off the broken wheels and screech against the flat side of Beast Cleaver. Ares grits her teeth, knees shaking, arms trembling, clearly struggling under the weight on her shoulder despite her size. My body burns. My knees plead to bend. I say no. Ares bows her head and yells, pushing hard. Her tattoos grow bright hot orange. We get 3 panels showing her sandals cutting into the asphalt as Ares' stance grows further apart while she grows in size. Sinred pushes against the ground, clearly on the verge of freeing himself. The beast snarls at Ares. This is not a good time for him to pounce on her. The beast begins to rise. Cosmore blah blah. The beast begins to rise to Cosmore Havak for its wicked master. I say no. Close up at Ares' face. Through gritted teeth, she whispers a spell. Ooh, magic. I'm not exactly sure how I could read this. Those are zodiac signs in there. Yeah, I don't think I can read that. Is it Wingdings? Of course it's not going to tell me. Oh. I wonder if that's Wingdings. Anyway. Molten orange chains shoot out from the asphalt around Sinred, wrapping his limbs in chains, pulling him into the ground as he writhes and screeches. My body holds the weight of my duty, but strains to hold the spell. The world wants to smother me, as it has tried and tried and tried so many times before, but I hold. For I say no! With a final push of effort, the train finally passes. Ares gasps, dropping to her knee and placing Beast Cleaver blade forward in front of her, holding onto it for support as the massive woman recovers. As she relaxes, however, the chains holding Sinred down disintegrate. The creature swings around, snarling and lunges at Ares, but she's ready. Her eyes snap up, and with Beast Cleaver, she takes Sinred as he charges at her and spins him in a pseudo cartwheel kick back towards the front of the library. Sinred crashes and writhes like the wild animal it is before kicking off, pushing its wings to escape, the little drone robot following it up. But Ares refuses. She takes Beast Cleaver up the chain and down the handle and swings it along her side like a lasso and throws the whole blade towards Sinred. It pierces through one of Sinred's wings, the creature screeching. Ares firmly grasps the chains as Sinred tries to resist. Beast Cleaver, to me! She yanks down the sword, dragging Sinred through the air until he crashes once more onto the pavement. The creature screeches and squirms, but before it can move, Ares presses her foot onto the creature's chest. By this point, Ares is to Sinred in height as the former is to a chicken, so she doesn't even seem to feel the creature's resistance. More magic. Sinred's eyes fill with a copper green until his body relaxes into unconsciousness. The small crowd cheers for Ares as she slings Beast Cleaver onto her back again and gets off of Sinred. The camera drone swoops down to Sinred's body, casting out a ray of light. Sinred dematerializes, much like Nailhead did in the opening. Once done, the drone swoops back up, heading towards the sky. When Ares' giant fingers envelop it in a fist, we get a panel of Ares as she opens her hand, revealing she, impressively, grabbed the drone gently enough not to immediately crush it. It is now holding it between two fingers and staring right at the camera. We see from the POV of the camera itself for the next 3 panels as Ares talks into it. Kobrak, you cackling, bony bastard. I know you're watching, as is your audience. Let these words carry across the 7 galaxies. Any who dare trespass in the beautiful, sweet world of Terra with ill intent, know that among its champions now is Ares, the barbarian queen. I will defend this world and its people with heart, body, and soul. It is my home now. And one day, I will return to my first home of Venus, and I will free it from its chains as I have freed myself. Enjoy your comforts and your throne, Kobrak. You will not have them for much longer. She crushes the drone, grinding it to dust between her fingers. Kobrak slouching back in his throne, holding his fingers in a supervillainy triangle pose as he contemplates, all while the crystal ball before him is filled with TV static with "transmission lost" and green text in it. Back to the library as Ares proudly smiles, her hands at her hips, as people gather around her cheering and taking pictures. Hey, excuse me? Ares, right? Ares turns, only to see none other than Naveen, standing and waving up at her. We get a panel of Ares' face looking down at him with surprise, and a pretty noticeable blush. She drops onto one knee gently, getting as close to him as she can, despite still towering over him. Yes, Mr. Person whom I have never met. I just want to say thank you for stopping that monster. That was amazing. Thank you. It was nothing. It's, it's what I do. I was also wondering if you maybe saw Lacey. She's short, reddish brunette, Wears glasses, black dress, Mary Jane's. She was in the office with me right before the monster came in. She stayed behind. We thought it was a drill. Have you seen her? I'm worried about her. You are? I mean, if she is whom you speak of, I saw her. I drew the beast away to let her escape. She's safe, I promise you. Or she'll be safe, I promise you. Naveen looks relieved. In the way the two are framed, Ares looks a little smaller than she did in the previous panel. Just the way she looked a bit smaller in the panel before that. Thank God. And, thank you again! Ares blushing and brushing some of her hair behind her ear. Just doing my duty. Naveen's expression shifts a bit to a slight look of confusion, monitoring to the top of his own head. Are you okay? There's something with your hair? My what? Ares checks her, looking at some of it on her shoulder, the bronze copper color spreading through the green. Oh, no, 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 no. Ares gets up, although now she's somehow the same height, standing fully up, as she was when she was on one knee, bending down. Her armor also visibly looks looser on her. I've got to go. Ares runs off down the street, quickly outpacing anyone who might want to follow her as more orange copper spreads through the green and her tattoos seem to grow dimmer. Don't worry! I know you'll find who you're looking for soon! Naveen stands there a little dumbfounded. What? Was it something I said? Oh, Naveen. It's so real. I saw Naveen's name and I was like, Prince Naveen, from Princess and the Frog. And, I'm not wrong, though. The energy is the same. We cut to Ares, quickly turning a corner into an empty, dark alleyway, pressing herself against the wall. She is now, comparatively, much shorter, now back to 9-ish feet, but her armor seemingly didn't shrink as quickly anyway with her, forcing her to hold it herself with her arms and legs to not end up indecent. We get a sequence of 3 panels as she continues to shrink down and lose the green in her hair, her outfit only getting more comically oversized this time. Each time, except for Beast Cleaver, who actually shrinks faster and more than Ares does. In the last panel, she's about a foot taller than her usual at Lacey's size, with a few remaining streaks of ground copper dissipating from her head. Shit! I was doing so well! I had to get embarrassed, and now I can't go out looking like this. What do I do? Suddenly, as the last bits of green hair disappear, Ares' armor glows the same bright orange magical girl style as Lacey's dress when she transformed in the first place. The armor shifts around the young woman's body, and Lacey Tanner stretches her arms and legs out, looking down at herself in shock, and reenacting the cover of Secret Wars #8. My outfit! It's back! And good as new! I guess that's a relief. It was one of my favorites. There are click and thump automatopoeias. Lacey turns around and sees her ballpoint pen and keychain laying on the ground after it, as Beast Cleaver fell off her back. Next to it is the tome. She bends over and picks up both, tucking the book under her shoulder and grabbing the pen and staring at it between her fingers for a few short moments. Then she gently tucks it behind her ear. She takes a brief breath and she smiles to herself. A short montage of Lacey walking to work like in the opening. She still keeps making herself small wherever she goes, but there's a hint more confidence in her expression. I don't remember much about my childhood. I was too busy fighting my light. Blah, blah, blah. I don't remember much about my childhood. I was too busy fighting for my life in the arena to remember. But I do remember some things. I remember my mother's smile. My sister's. Lacey walks up the steps to the library. The shot is wide and shows the side of the building where Sinred burst in is now being repaired, as is the street where Ares and Sinred fought. As she walks, Lacey swings her pen, her finger looping around the ring of her keychain. The face Kobrak made that day I broke my restraint chains and forged them into my weapon. Lacey checks into work as Judas shouts out orders to the other librarians, and catalogers. Naveen passes by Lacey's desk, and the two exchange small smiles. As he leaves, Lacey turns to her computer, a slight blush on her cheeks. Lacey Tanner might have been part of Kobrak's spell to keep me powerless, but I am her now, and I am still Ares too. We aren't split. We are one and the same. Lacey fought Sinred. Ares sorts books at the library, and I remember both sides as me. Even though I am so far from home, and I left it in chains, yet still yet to be broken, Earth is my home now. I love the people here. I love the city. Cut to Lacey out among the shelves in the public areas of the library, trying to help a visitor who is clearly in a bad mood taking it out on Lacey. Despite everything, I even love my job. Lacey sorts some books on a cart and pushes them towards a shelf. Kobrak won't stop coming after me. Lacey's apartment. The book of Vargatos lays just underneath her bed, the pages glowing slightly underneath the cover. Or the Book of Vargatos. Got back to Lacey helping in elderly lady figure out the book self-checkout machines. But just the same way, I won't stop helping people, and I will not stop whatever he sends. I'm not afraid of him. I'm not truly afraid of anyone anymore. Lacey now putting books on the shelves as the evening sunlight pours into the library. The shot is framed in a way that makes her look small. My confidence is still gone. It ebbs and flows. Sometimes I feel tiny and insignificant, but it's different now. Because sometimes, when I really need it, I know that deep down, we get a panel as Lacey grabs her pen from under her ear to write something down on a clipboard as she scans the shelves. In the next panel, she seems satisfied and turns around. Then one last full panel image. Lacey Tanner standing meekly holding her clipboard and her pen. As the evening sun hits her, though, her shadow is cast tall behind her in the silhouette of Ares. I can be as big as I want to be. Spectacular Ares, woman for Venus. Baron Frias, Baron Frias, Baron Frias. There it is. I knew it was here. I know you will, boss. 6 days later, Monday, December 30th, 2024. Lacey walks through the snow streets of Empire City, late at night after work. The streets are empty as the bridge of raised rails for the subways, raised on the riveted steel beams that run parallel to the other side of the street from where Lacey is walking. As she walks, humming softly to herself, holding her purse, clearly with a few books in it, shadows begin to follow behind her. Lacey hears the crunch of footsteps through the snow behind her. She stops humming and tenses as someone calls after her from behind. Hey, baby, it's cold outside. How about we help you warm up, huh? We get a shot of Lacey's shoulder. A bunch of Wolf on Wall Street / American Psycho looking assholes, 4 in total, are prowling behind her, drawn to clearly look like they're a little drunk. Lacey tightens her shoulders and keeps trudging through the snow. I'm okay. Thank you. Aw, come on. Some of the men run into the street and round and end up in front of Lacey. Lacey stops, backing a foot away from the brick wall to her left. Please don't do this. Please. One of the men, the yippiest looking one of the lot, steps forward towards Lacey as others around him snicker. Come on, we're not gonna hurt you. We're just gonna have some fun. Lacey purses her lips. We see in her hand, reaching behind her ear, and the pen tucked underneath it. No. I'm giving you a chance to not do this, because I know you can be better, and I'm telling you because I don't want to hurt you. We'll see about that. He lunges to grab her as Lacey grabs her pen and thwack! The assailant's wrist snaps into the wall. Both he and Lacey freeze, looking at his wrist. The cuff of his expensive-looking sleeve is stuck to the wall, held there by a sharp, squid-shaped Sorry, what's this? I guess do that. I don't know, I'm curious. Where's a canoe? Oh, it's these. Oh, it's the throwing knives. Okay. Oh, but specifically these. Okay. That's cool. Oh, I love that switch shaped. Cute. Lacey and the Yippie look at each other in momentary confusion when a screen pierces between them. The panel turns to see that one of the other Yippies dragged in the shadows of the train bridge above. The shadow drops, clicking onomatopoeia piercing the darkness. It moves in a blur, twisting and unnaturally around one of the men, crackling their wrist as they go for a lunge, dropping them to the ground. The third man yells out, only for his mouth to get covered by a patch of black goo. A blur shoots down from the direction of the train bridge, knocking the man to the ground. The man attacking Lacey finally yanks his arm free, only, as in a square panel, a clawed blue hand shoots into frame, grasping the man by the neck. Pathetic. Abusing those who you think can't fight back? What else did... Pathetic. Abusing those who you think can't fight back. What else could I expect from a corporate lawyer, Alan Sawyers? How did you know my name? The man is pulled up into the air. We see the silhouette of the attacker. I had to make sure I didn't accidentally myself. Slender, with clawed tips on each finger of their hands. The figure hovers in the air, held up off the ground by two tendrils coming out of their back, while two more snake around her body, pincers their body, menacingly snapping into the Yippie's face. If I ever see you or any of your Market Street Yippie friends harassing anyone on these streets again, I will know. Consider it a mercy that I am even bothering to warn you first. Please, don't. I won't. I promise. Just please. I swear. You better. The clawed hand tosses the stock market hooligan against the wall, sending him face first into the snow that's accumulated against it. The Yippie sits up, pressing himself against the wall in pure terror as the person continues to speak. Don't test me, Sawyers. Remember, there's no place I won't find you. Cephalopods have remarkably good memories. Full page. The big reveal, framed by the light in the dim street lamps. 4 tentacles, 2 on the ground as they hold up a slender figure, his blue lens glaring down at the would-be assaulter as Lacey looks on from the left side of the page. And the Kraken never forgets a face. The Yippie scrambles, grasping for their friends and half dragging, half waking them up. They all make a break for it down the street and around their corner, like they had dogs biting at their heels, stumbling through the snow on the edges of the sidewalk. Lacey turns to Kraken. Thank you. Hey! Before she can react, a tentacle snaps forward, grabbing the pen off of her ear. We get a long rectangular panel of Kraken holding the pen between 2 tentacle claws, stunning the pen immensely as he turns it around. What I thought. Your power isn't inherently to the pen. Either a channeling artifact of some kind, or just a meaningless trinket you've given special value in your transformation, via illusory correlation and reinforcement. Give it back? Please? Kraken's tentacle twists around, dropping the pen into Lacey's palm. Do you always take people's things without asking? Your abilities somehow break the square cube law and don't destroy the earth in the process. I need to understand how. My abilities? I don't know what... You don't know. What do you mean? Don't play dumb. I know who you are, Lacey Tanner. 16 years old, no family on record. A few panels close to the ground showing Kraken taking deliberate, intimidating steps towards Lacey, saying something with each step. Librarian at the Empire City Public Library, Central Branch, lives in apartment 16B at 211-941 Marston Street. You went to Joyous Juices for lunch twice this week. On Tuesday and Friday, both times you ordered a dragon fruit smoothie and 2 oatmeal raisin cookies, consistent with the receipt data on your credit cards for most weeks in the last 3 months. That's so specific, boss. I need to know why that's so fucking specific. Also, would a dragon fruit smoothie really taste good? I need to try that now. Anyway, which is how I know that you have a good day at work. You'll treat yourself to a chocolate chip cookies instead. I've learned a lot about you in a week, Lacey Tanner. Kraken stops right in front of Lacey. 2 of his tentacles snap, flanking his head. His next words balloon is smaller, evident he's speaking in a low voice. Or do you prefer Barbarian Queen? Lacey steps back, looking around frantically as she tucks her pen back behind her ear. Fine, but how did you find out so fast? I understand if you followed me, but... And what about that lawyer, Sawyer? Kraken glances to his left up the train bridge. On one of the steel beams, there's a security camera. We zoom onto the side of the camera. It's branded with Kuma Corp on the side. It's my city. I have my ways. Lacey stares at the vigilante. She looks awkward but determined. I don't keep up the news, but I've heard about you. You single-handedly brought more people to the museum looking for books on cryptids and urban legends than any summer reading campaign we've ever done. So now what? After you've invaded my privacy, are you going to take me somewhere? Hurt me? No, unless you give me a reason to. I'm here to give you a warning. A warning? What kind? Kraken glances slightly over his shoulder, tilting his head in a very daredevil-esque way. Have you ever heard of Orchid? Orchid? Of course. Who hasn't? No. About him. What happened last Tuesday? Christmas Eve? Lacey looks confused. No. What? Kraken glares at her. How could you not know? It's been all over the news. I don't keep up with it. I mean, the news. Not on TV or the newspaper or anything. It's too distracting. Kraken snorts under his mask, though it's unclear if it's from contempt or a bit of respect. A night before Christmas Eve, Orchid gets impaled on live TV, and for 24 hours the so-called green-thumbed guardian was dead. And then he just wasn't. Orchid episodes 3. I need to read through Orchid. What the hell do you mean? Orchid just died. What? Okay. Gotta have to start reading Orchid, I see. No, I'm just not on 23 apparently. I gotta catch up apparently. What is happening? The temperature of the world is rising, Tanner. For now, Sunstone is Wonderland. But it kept all the madness quarantined. I've been working hard to make sure it doesn't spread its seeds here to my city. And I know I can't hold it off forever. The impending fact stares me in the face every night now, taunting me. Kraken looks up, and Lacey follows his gaze. The full moon is out. A piece is missing. Lacey blinks a few times, then jumps. Is that... Did the moon? How? When did that happen? Lacey, I said the same thing. Girl, it's Orchid, man. You gotta keep up with Orchid to know all the things going on. Even through the mask, you tell Kraken is staring at her with deadpan display. I'm just Lacey, I'm learning. I am literally just Lacey. Oh no, I didn't mean to do something. Okay, there we go. You're joking. I'm sorry. Like I said, I don't watch the news or look up that much. Kraken's eyes look over his shoulders. One of the clawed tips of the tentacles snapping absently. I don't trust you, alien. But for both our sakes, I did you a favor. There's no footage of your little skirmish, and a friend of mine is paying for damages. And for people to stay quiet. Expect a sizable donation to the library to arrive soon. No footage. I guess I can buy you doing something with the news channels, but what about people recording on their phones? Kraken's blue lens glare at Lacey. Flashback. Of the people recording Ares Sinred fights, we zoom on and they all had Kumo Corp phones. When the fight ends, the people store their phones away and we see, unbeknownst to them, a little pop-up appears on the screen. Video file auto-deleted. We come back to Kraken. A close-up on his lens, so deep we can see the texture of his mask and the creases of him furrowing his brow. Like I said, I have my ways. We get a panel of Lacey staring pensively back at Kraken. But how? But why? Why am I important? Because the old hierarchies of the world are changing. First it was Orchid, then it was me, then it was that damned clown, then a group of office workers shooting moonbeams in Seattle, of all places. A woman with glowing veins and a shotgun, and then rumors of a girl with wings. Ah. Hey, look, the world is interesting right now, okay? I love just the group of office workers shooting moonbeams. Those are my magical girls, thank you very much. And they're doing their best. Anyway. You know, laying it out like that, though, yeah. Yeah, the world's a bit insane, huh? Kraken turns to stare at Lacey in the eyes, lens narrowing accusingly. And now you, the most obnoxious, conspicuous one of all, besides Orchid himself. Lacey takes a step forward, even though she looks very insecure. All I did was protect people. I couldn't have let them get hurt. Well, you said it yourself, the day of. It only happened because they, whoever they is, were looking for you. All you did was solve a problem you caused. Lacey backs away, looking ashamed, her pulling her shoulders inward. The novelty of Orchid and his entourage of chaos won't be enough of a cloud of smoke for us anymore. There's a faceless force at play, Tanner. I don't know enough about it. It's covered its tracks very well for the force of its size, but it has us all in its orbit. It tried to stomp out everything in Sunstone. It failed catastrophically. So now it's a wild animal, injured and threatened, and in any attempt to regain control, cut their losses, they're turning their attention to the rest of us. So what do you want me to do? Leave. Excuse me? Leave Empire. Go to Sunstone where the chaos already is, or some empty patch of wilderness in New Mexico where no one will notice a giant gladiator woman fighting monsters. But not in my city. You're just a magnet for destruction and unwanted attention. No! I'm not leaving. This is my city too. It's my second home. I'm not going to back down or leave, no matter who says. Not even you. Kraken rears up his tentacles, purposely making himself loom over Lacey, as she stares straight back, hand reaching for a pen. We see a few panels tensely staring at each other, then Kraken pulls away. I'll be watching you, Tanner. Ares. Whatever the hell your name is. If either of your personas end up being an act, or you bring catastrophe into Empire, I will stop you. If those forces don't notice and get you first. In a blur, the Kraken leaps into the air, a black line of ink in his tentacles helping him scale up the subway bridge. He lands, standing on the edge of one of the side barriers with his feet together in a very ninja style. As his silhouette is framed by the damaged moon, we get an onomatopoeia for a train coming on the left. We get a close-up panel as Kraken glances over his shoulder down at Lacey while the train quickly approaches. Happy New Year. The train rushes past. Once it's gone, so is he. Lacey stares up at where the vigilante once stood, whispering a parting message, wondering if he can even hear. Happy New Year. Oh my god, there's more! There's more! Kobrak's lair. The Count sits at his throne, his fingers pressed together on his lap. Someone speaks to him from behind his throne. Audience retention and watch time were up 52% during the fight, and the Galactic Bets speculation market on the outcome and on Sinred retrieving the Black Booth, retrieving the book were blah 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 blah. And Sinred retrieving the book both were at record-breaking numbers. From audience polls, the majority were excited about the drama and action, the collateral damage, and civilians in peril. Overall, factoring in clips and replays, this is the most viewed episode of the last 6 seasons of Venus vs. Offworld. Any noticeable shifts in demo? The figure walks towards the throne, but we only see a blurry silhouette of them in the foreground as they pass to stand in front of Kobrak. Ares' more vulnerable moments, talking with civilians, increased our penetration into the female-aligned audiences, especially those from the outer periphery, which Venus Versus has never been able to do. Projection models show that it would have connected with inner peripheral feminine audiences if it weren't for the cruelty to Sinred. It also impacted ad revenue due to some sponsors pulling out. That's a lot of speech. Kobrak looks up at the speaker with disdain and frustration written in his skull. Curses. Why did we have to spend 3 seasons of prime time building up the stupid munt as a loyal beast? Who is the brain-dead imbecile who came up with that one? You did, my lord. Kobrak sighs. Didn't even get the book either. Next time, no beasts. I'll send someone. I want interpersonal drama. You can't get that with even the best trained animals. I need pathos. That is exactly what keeps the audience hooked. Just think of the ad revenue, the speculation market. Think of those sweet, sweet ratings. I need someone good, someone spicy, someone that gives it an angle. We turn to, and in the next panel, we see who Kobrak is speaking to. A stunningly gorgeous woman, tall, muscular, with dark skin and white locks, dressed in red and silver bodice armor and a red scarf with black pants, red boots, and a skirt cloak made of dark brown fabrics with green stripes and leg warmers of similar material. One of her arms is fully exposed, covered in blood-red tattoos. Her other arm wears a metal paladron shaped like some kind of alien panther or tiger creature. On her forehead, she wears a kind of tiara with a large red gem embedded in it. On her hips hang a pair of jagged swords, the blade zigzagging lightning bolts. She holds a holographic data pad in one hand. And finally, we get a text box. Omega Windra. Left hand of Kobrak, Cloudbreaker of Venus, betrayal of its soil. My lord, I could go after her. It would be personal. Might drive up the ratings further. Kobrak glares at her. You've done enough. The drama would be juicy. I can already imagine tabloids. But I want a safe bet this time. I need that book back to claim my right and finally rule the universe. A figure approaches behind the throne. Gray skin, a stony, rounded helmet, a gladiator-style attire, think Juggernaut from the live-action second Fox X-Men, and a massive oversized sword that's like a slab with a rock with a hilt in it on it, like the Goron swords in Breath of the Wild. And who better to claim my prize than my safest investment? A figure passes by Omega, who watches him wearily. My herald, my emissary. We get a page revealing the figure, a massive, muscular gray Martian dressed in the Juggernaut-esque armor, his sword on his back, cracking his knuckles and smiling with sadistic anticipation as Windra stands behind him, and Kobrax looks at him from his throne with a skeletal grin. My guardian will return. 3 out of 6 are. Just under 2 hours. Okay, but overall, final thoughts. Really fucking good. I love that there were 2 after credit scenes. I love Kraken. I love the fact that laying it all out like that is hilarious. I love Lacey. Any live action we do of her, any like voice acting, I declare I want to voice act her. I love her so much. I kind of love doing Ares too. I feel bad I can't do Kobrak, but I do like Kobrak's, like, now knowing what voice he's supposed to have, I can really hear it in a lot of his lines. I think it's structured well. I think everything's built up well as well. And yeah, overall, I really love this. And I am very excited for when it returns. And we get to see more of Ares. I've also learned apparently I need to go read Orchid. As one does. But yeah. I will, send this over to you when I have it done. But like I said, overall my thoughts are I adored it a lot. This was really nice, and I cannot wait to see this in an actual like comic book. Like, this will be so fucking cool. Especially how you describe certain shots. It was a lot of fun reading it out. And yeah. I will send this over as soon as I can.